everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, then hi, my name is Caitlin. Welcome. And today I am doing my Pan Those Eyeshadows update, and this I think is the best update of the year so far because we are rolling out 3 shades. Oh my god, 3 shades, 2 pans, and 1 usage goal hit. If you don't know how I do this project, obviously the main goal is to hit pan, but I do have a 15 use rollout rule as well, just because I have so many eyeshadows in my collection that 15 uses is a big chunk of uses for one eyeshadow. I do want to rotate through my collection as much as humanly possible. So yeah, 2 pans and 1 15 use today. I'm so excited. Which eyeshadows do you think we've hit pan on, and which shadow do you think we've hit our 15 use goal on? Because I would be interested to know if these eyeshadows are actually the ones that you think. But just before we do jump into the video, if you have not already, definitely like and subscribe because it would mean the world to me. I do so many project pans, shop my stashes, and get ready with me's here on this channel. Also, if you like my eye look, if you like everything that I've got on my face today, I will link them down below for you guys. If you do shop with my affiliate links, thank you so much. It means the world to me. You really do help me out. Okay, so I'm gonna jump into it. It's such an exciting update. I'm kind of nervous because this colour story is going to be changing a lot. So I'm going to go from the shade that we rolled in last month to the oldest shade just to keep some suspense. Although you won't have to wait for long because this first shade is the only shade that is staying in this project. So this is the Revolution Maxi Reloaded shade 7. I have repressed and depotted all of that palette, and this is what it looked like last month. You could see I don't think we'd used it at all last month, or maybe we'd used it once, but like very little progress. And obviously our goal was to hit pan or 15 uses, and this is what we look like today. You can see there are some use marks on this pan, but no dip really whatsoever. I've only used it 2 times, so we can't expect miracles here. You guys know pinks aren't really my jam, and I have been working so hard on the rest of the shades in this project, so this definitely did get neglected this month a little bit. I can use this with my Pan That palette. I am panning the Modern Renaissance palette this year, and it does go very well with Love Letter. I have been working on Warm Taupe for a very long time. It is what's on my eyes today to blend out. I have swatched, I have remembered, here we go. It's like a dusty light pink, so I think I can get quite a lot of use out of this maybe in the coming months when we start working on the more like warm tones in the Modern Renaissance. I think this is really gonna shine then, but for now we've only used it 2 times. It's definitely not the star of this show, far from it. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep on working on this slowly. Okay, so the next shade in this project was the shade Glistening, and this was from the SheGlam palette. We had been working on this for 2 months. This is what it looked like last month. You could see there was a tiny little bit of a dip in this. We were kind of getting there, working through it slowly, and this is what we look like today. You can see we have hit pan. AB8 shades are pretty easy to hit pan on, especially the shimmer shades, so this wasn't too much of a big deal, and it went really well with the other shades in this project too. So I have just given it a swatch there. This was really nice on the lid or as an inner corner kind of pop shade. You can see hopefully the pan here. You could definitely see in the close-up though for sure. I'm really happy about this. It was a pretty easy pan to hit. I had to use this an additional 7 times this month for a total of 13 uses to hit pan. Very easy, nothing too crazy, nothing too dramatic, I guess. It also went really well with the warm tones in my Pan That palette, my Modern Renaissance palette. A lot of shades are repeat shades from the SheGlam as well. So yeah, it was kind of made to go with that palette, I guess. Really simple, really easy for everyday looks, just very simple. So 13 uses, and we are rolling the SheGlam out. This is our first pan. one of two. The next two shades are actually from my Huda Beauty Orange Obsessions palette, but I'm going to start with the shade 7. It is the darker shade that we've been working on. So last month, this is what it looked like. We had a pretty big dip in it, to be honest. I used quite a precise brush with this because it is more of a kind of mid to dark shade. I did use this as maybe like a middle blending shade. So yeah, the brushes that I used were quite dense, and this is what it looks like today. You can see we have hit pan. I'm so happy with this. This was my main goal. I really wanted to hit pan in this shade, and I have. So you can see it swatched out there. It went really, really well with glistening. These two together are amazing, as well as the Lash shade that I'm going to show you. I'm gonna cover up the middle shade because that is also a shade that we are working on. That was our 4th shade. But look at this, we have hit pan. This is the first pan in this palette. I'm really, really excited about it. This pan really shines in this packaging as well. Sometimes it's really hard to see the pan, but I think we have a decent sized pan in a very vibrant color, so I'm very happy about that. And finally, also from the Huda palette, this is the shade 5. This is what we looked like last month. Last month you could see it barely looked touched, and that is because I use a very, very, very fluffy brush with this shade. You can see this shade is very light, so it is a last transition shade. I don't want to pack it on normally, and this is what it looks like today. As you can see, the dip is a little bit there, but honestly not much of a dip at all. And as I said in the intro, I have hit 15 uses on this. This is what it looks like. I actually have it on my inner corner today and as a liquid liner. So I think it looks really, really good. I love this look. Someone did suggest in my last update to have this as an inner corner pop. And honestly, I love you so much because I have loved it like that. So this is our full colour story. You can see it was quite light, it was quite muted. A lot of these shades were very similar to the Modern Renaissance, which I'm not too happy about. And I have also used this 7 times this month for a total of 15 uses. I don't think I said the Huda 7 shade, the last shade we spoke about, I also used this 7 times. So I think 7 is the magic number this month for a total of 16 uses. So I had to use it 1 additional time over our 15 use goal, but I knew I'd be able to hit pan on it, so I just kept going. So yeah, this is the color story. So I'm going to speak about some looks because you guys really enjoyed when I spoke about looks last month. So let me budge up and I can show you all the beautiful looks that we did this month. Something I said in my Pan That Palette update was that I really wanted to work on Warm Taupe. So Warm Taupe is the last transition shade I have on my eyes today, and as you can see, it is a very, very cool toned shade. But I actually found if I mixed it with Huda Beauty 7, it made this kind of neutral transition shade, which I really, really enjoyed. So yeah, I liked to mix the two extremes, like a cool tone grey and a vibrant bright orange. And they just made a really nice mix of both worlds. It was very, very neutral. I really enjoyed playing with that combination because it got a lot of use out of 2 shades that I was working on. I didn't have to sacrifice one for the other. They really work well together, and yeah, I found it was a really nice neutral look. So I was doing some looks kind of similar to this quite a lot. Some of the looks that I was doing quite a lot was sunset looks. As you can see, it is a very kind of sunset color story, so things like this look were quite common this month. I did pair Love Letter with these kind of shades from my Pan That palette. Love Letter is more of a kind of dark, it's a bit like this to be honest, but more pink. Quite a dark pinky shade. So I started with Love Letter, blended it out with Revolution 7, blended that out with Huda 7, and then blended that out with Huda 5. And then most of the time I would put glistening on the lid as well. So looks like this really used all of these shades, which was ideal. And it's probably one of the reasons why they all have 7 uses pretty much, apart from this pink. I used them together quite a lot because they did complement each other. That was something good about about this round and this project, I could use them all together if I wanted to. Sometimes you get shades that are just way out of left wing and you have no idea how to use them, but I was quite lucky in that aspect this month. I did do this pink look as well, so I blended Love Letter out again with Revolution 7, but instead of doing a sunset, I just kind of kept it there. It looked really, really nice. I have been liking Love Letter quite a lot actually. I know, pinks. I'm never normally a pink girl, but I don't know, this month there's been something about pinks that I've been doing a lot more frequently, so that's interesting. But yeah, this pink, it was okay for that. I just kind of blended it out. It worked really, really well with Love Letter, so I'm very happy about that. I will be pairing those two together a lot more in the coming months as well, just to get a lot more use out of this pink. I also did this graphic liner look, which I think was pretty interesting. It was a halo eye using these 3 orange shades, and then I used my like bright neon yellow cake liner to do kind of a similar shape that I'm wearing today, but obviously I didn't cut it out or anything. It was just kind of like an accent, which I think came out really, really well. I like experimenting with graphic liner. I think it's definitely something that I do want to continue doing because, I don't know, graphic liner, it makes things look even more dramatic and even more beautiful. So I'm definitely going to be playing around with some graphic liner looks, and this was one of them. Obviously, I'm not the best at graphic liner, so don't judge too hard, but I did like this look as well. Then I think this look was my favorite look from the entire month. This was a vibrant blue halo eye, and I am going to have a get ready with me with this look very, very soon, so stick around. It's going to be a first impressions video. I did use Huda 5 on the inner corner for a little bit of contrast, exactly the way I'm doing today. So those were some of the looks. I don't take pictures of every single look that I do, but those are the looks that kind of stood out to me this month. Okay, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. We are going to be rolling in 3 new shades. Every single month I do roll in 1 single shadow, so obviously that is the Revolution 7 shade, and then normally I rolled in 3 completely random shades from my main palette collection. This month, I'm going to be rolling in 2 random shades from my main palette collection, and I am actually going to be rolling in my Carnival XL Pro palette. I want that to be a focus palette for this project. So every month I'm going to be hand choosing 1 shade from that palette to hit pan on so that I can expand my pan collection in that palette. But before we do that, I am going to get my Pretty Random app. Okay, I have 1 to 424 on this spreadsheet. I am going to make a rule that if it is too similar to my Pan That palette shades, I will be rolling it out. I don't think I should have rolled in this darker orange because it is so similar to Realgar, and I think that Realgar has definitely lost out of use because I've been working on this shade. So if it is similar to my Modern Renaissance, I will be rolling it out. So let's go. First we have 121, and then we have 319. So let me check what shades those are and I will be right back. Okay, 121 actually came from my Bella Pierre's All Stars palette. This is my Pan That palette in order, but I was thinking about maybe rolling it in, but the shade is actually very, very similar to the Revolution shade that we have right now. I've just swatched it there. They are very similar. The Bella Pierre's is a little bit more pigmented and maybe a little bit more dark, but they are very similar. Maybe if I blend it out a bit, you can see I'm not going to be rolling that in. So even if it wasn't in a palette that I'm already working on, I would not have rolled that in. But 319? Let me check. Yes, 319. It's from my High Tide palette. You guys know I love this palette so much, and it doesn't have any pans in it. It was the shade Flora, so we get to work on a teal. I love teals. It's going to go so well with warm taupe as well. I'm so excited about that. So let me roll in a replacement for the Bella Pierre's palette. So let's go. We have shade 68. I'm a little bit nervous because I think that is going to be a ABH palette. Oh no, it's not. Okay, that's from my Soph Revolution palette that I already have pan on. Let's roll again. 344. Okay, 344 is the shade Proxy from my Lethal Cosmetics palette. It's this shade. So is that going to be too similar? Oh no, I don't think so. No, I think these will actually work really, really well together. So these are my two random shades. I'm really excited for these. They will work so well together. They will blend each other out amazingly. So that means that I'm gonna swatch Revolution 7. Wow, Revolution 7 looks like absolutely nothing in comparison to these blues. But that also means that I have to handpick a shade from my Be Perfect Carnival XL Pro palette. Okay, so this is my XL Pro. I want something that isn't going to clash with my Pan That palette, that isn't going to clash... Let me hang on. It's so big. Something that goes, but something that doesn't clash with my Pan That palette. I'm thinking maybe Pink Me. This is like a shimmery, iridescent-y pinky shade, but it's not very good. You may be able to see it on my arm there. It isn't the best shade, but I think it will go with the pink shade that I already have. It's going to go with Warm Taupe, which is what I'm working on, and I think it will go with these blues, so I might pick that one. So this is it swatched out with the rest of the colour story, and I think this is what I'm going to go with. Look how different, obviously not this shade, but look how different our colour story is. This is so much more me. I love it. When I say I love it, this is me in a colour story. I love it so much. I love my blues. I'm so excited to be moving away from very neutral, kind of boring shades, in my opinion. Obviously, makeup is subjective, but this is more me. I am so excited. So this is the end of this update, guys. If you did enjoy this video, definitely like and subscribe because it would mean the world to me. Let me know what looks you would do with this colour story. Oh, I'm thinking like a teal smoky eye with like a pop of pink in the inner corner. That is going to be incredible. I cannot wait. I hope you all have an absolutely incredible day, and I will see you very, very soon for a brand new video. Bye!